Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about some of the updates I have made to the vehicle, things that I need to do, things that are on the horizon. Just clicked over 59,000 miles. I'm not sure if I mentioned this previously, but when I bought the vehicle, it had 56,000 miles on it, and I've been driving it on a regular basis, and it's been great. So, progress on the vinyl wrap, as you can see here. I've done the hood, both front fenders. You guys seen the trunk in my previous video, and I've also managed to do what I like to call the finish panel. Then sadly I ran out of film, didn't realize that I didn't buy enough. Good news and bad news with that is there is a shortage, or I should say they're on back order currently. Lucky me, I found a local seller that has some in stock that's willing to sell it to me. So I'll finish up the car later on this week, and this time I promise I will shoot it while I do it, because this is my first time wrapping a vehicle. I am not a professional by any means, but this is not a difficult vehicle to wrap. All I ended up doing really is just removing these corner lights here, turn signal lights, and when I was doing the back, just the emblem in the center of the trunk and the two rear tail lights, and this piece as well, and the bracket. So once all that is off, the car is relatively flat. It's just a matter of sticking it on and squeegeeing. But there are some things to keep in mind. One of the things that I've learned very quickly is you have to read the film, meaning that if you're showing too much material, you have to stretch it out to where you have it evenly distributed. So my first, look at this beautiful color here. Once again, this is 3M's Gloss Ember Black. And by the way, disclaimer, I'm not affiliated with 3M. I'm not sponsored by 3M or anybody at all. This is just purely for you guys, for myself. I just want to kind of share the progress that I'm making on this car. But yes, I love this color. So the trunk was the first panel that I wrapped, and definitely made some mistakes. One of which, I did not use a squeegee. I ordered it, it didn't come in time. You can see some bubbles here. These can be pressed down, but they come back eventually. I ended up using a wrap glove because the squeegee that I ordered took too long to get here, and I got too excited, so I started wrapping the car. The last piece that I finished was this here, and this is impeccable. No issues whatsoever, no mistakes, no wrinkles, no bubbles, and I did it in about, I want to say like 10 minutes, where the first time here it took me about an hour. So as you can see, wrinkle marks here. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. Try to focus on that. You can see some wrinkle marks there. There you go. That's from the film kind of binding there. Also, see some bubbling here as well. This can be fixed. I can actually just pull this off and fix it. But, you press it, you can hear the air moving around. It comes right back. I didn't stretch it enough. Like I said, learning from my mistakes here. Also, see some wrinkling over here as well. The sunlight's not really gonna pick it up too well, but you can see the marks there. Another bubble in the center here. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I can almost rewrap it. Now, the worst of them all is this section right here. Look at that bubble. Now that is not a mistake on my part as far as wrapping the vehicle. The paint there was cracked, and even though I sanded the whole vehicle down, I must have missed this part here. So no matter what I do, and I can feel the imperfection under it, it just keeps coming back. So I'll rewrap this, and I'll show you guys the process that I've done. The hood, which was the biggest piece, and I'm actually surprised with myself that I did a fantastic job. Not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but for someone that's never wrapped a vehicle before, this came out very, very well, especially at the seams and the corners here. As you can see, no problems at all. Even this fender as well came out pretty good. These I'll have to redo as well. I was just kind of playing around with some leftover film, and just decided to mess around. So that's update number 1. Stay tuned for the full wrap video when it arrives. I think it ships out tomorrow, so I should receive it by Monday, Tuesday, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. Now, the second item here, you guys have seen this. I mentioned in my last video. These are 16-inch Sentra Type 31, I believe, wheels. And the good thing about these is, yes, they're rare. I mean, you can find them if you look hard enough. But this is my first time seeing a staggered set. And when I found these and I went to go pick them up, I looked at them, I said, I didn't know they came staggered. But these are off of an SLC, I'm told. So they have some very bad clear coat peeling. The other center caps are in the back, in the garage. I just kind of wanted to put these on to show you guys what it looks like with the center caps. But anyway, yeah, so I had to take off all the clear coat with some paint stripper. And it came out pretty easy, being, 35 years old or whatnot. Then I just mounted them onto the car and started to wet sand them while the car's rotating. Not the best method to do it, but definitely effective, definitely fast. But don't recommend you guys do this at home. If you do, make sure you use some jack stands, and safety first. So I started with about, I believe it was 500 grit, and worked my way up to 800. So I can go a little bit more to get more polish, but I wanted to see if there's any imperfections in it. I actually like the way they came out pretty well. What I'm gonna end up doing is just refinishing the black there, because some of the paint stripper got on it, and it's kind of inevitable. So these are the bolts to hold the center caps in place. I got these from Home Depot, nothing too special, because it didn't come with the original ones. And yes, and these tires are from 1995, and my stupid self decided to mount them on and take the car out. Why not? And then this happened. Take a look at that. It literally bubbled up to the point where the car started wobbling so bad. But I made it home safely. Do plan to swap those out. But as a result of my stupidity, the car was vibrating so much that the tie rod ends now need to be changed. I ordered the part. It's upstairs. Go ahead and film that video for you guys. Sorry about the wind noise. Once I have the ability to get the chance to get to it. So I believe they're staggered. They're 16 by 8 in the front and 8.5 in the back, or 9, something along those lines. So I have to check the stamps in the back. I also painted the center caps in kind of a vintage gold and clear coated them just to see what it looks like for now. My only issue with these wheels is 3 of the center caps look like this, which are aftermarket for sure. And this one here is the original one. It's significantly heavier, it's chrome, and it has an O-ring on it. Peel that off to show you guys. It's a bit difficult. There you go. As you can see, I mean, significantly heavier, and the center emblem part has the nut in the middle of it. Where these do not. Look at this, just cheap reproduction, and it's kind of held in there by epoxy or whatever the previous owner did there. I have no idea. If I can source some original ones, I'll do that. If not, no big deal. One of the last updates I wanted to share with you guys is, as I mentioned in my last video, that I am trying to, or I need to do some repairs to the engine bay here, or to the motor. I still have not gotten the fuel regulator yet, and that's coming, which sits right over there. You can actually see from here the little cylinder, that right there. It works good, no problems. It's just it vents out an enormous amount of fumes that I can smell in the cabin, specifically when I'm making a right or left turn. Going straight is not a problem. Kind of strange. So what I have done over the weekend is replace the fan clutch. So now when you spin it, it stops. Prior to that, it would spin for another like half a second and stop. So it was shot. My issue with that was driving the car. I've noticed that when I come to a stop in traffic, and I live in South Florida, so it gets pretty hot. The temperature climbs from 80 degrees to, I want to say 100, maybe 110. I'll If you take a look at the temperature gauge here, let me focus in. See the 80-degree mark? It's the line right above 80 degrees. And as soon as I start moving, it slows down and stops, or starts coming down slowly, with the assistance of the electric fan. Electric fan comes on, makes all that happen. So I knew something was wrong. The coolant level was fine, and I spun the fan clutch and realized it was toast. So that's all I have for today, guys. Stay tuned for the work on the wheels, the wrap, and the tie rods. See you next time.